It has been cold. Everybody's seen. I've been putting down salt, shoveling a little bit, not much, but it's still been a lot of salt. So I've been doing that. So moving forward, I'm going to try to do these story times in video format. Those that reached out to me on IG, I appreciate it. I appreciate your feedback. I'm running into some issues right now, so hopefully this video comes out the way I want it to. So today's story, so of course, I always tell y'all where I'm at, what am I doing? I'm at home right now. It's about to start raining. I have an external mic because nothing is working the way it should. My camera's working, but it looks like the aperture is a little, it's too dark out here, so it's not picking me up the way it should pick me up, but we're still gonna get it. But anywho, today's story is another story that is very, very personal to me. It involves family members, it involves friends, and it involves me, of course. But I'm hoping that by sharing my stories with you, not only will it help me to become more comfortable on the camera, but it'll also make my relationship with you all that follow me online and that are following my journey, I hope it makes me more transparent to you all. You know, I just want to be, if you see me on here, I hope that's the person that you meet in person when you do meet me, you dig? So today's story, I told y'all a little while ago on one of, if you've been watching the story times, how I lost everything. I was living in an apartment, house foreclosed. Things turned out good with that. But I want to move forward a little bit. So once I got the good job in Virginia, and you'd have to go back to figure out where I'm at when I get to this, but I got a good job in Virginia. I started staying at a motel. And I know I told you guys that I had a couple weeks in a hole where I had a friend from work that, and in the hole means that the job, because we had just started it, you have to work a couple weeks before you can get paid. But it wasn't one of those where you worked a couple weeks and then you got a paycheck 2 weeks later or something like that. Well, you have to have 2 weeks in a hole so you get paid on the next pay period, which is 2 weeks later. So actually I got paid, 1 month after starting work. So as the oldest, I'm the oldest child of 6 kids. A lot of responsibility comes with that. I think, it's funny because I was talking to folks about how things were for me coming up and then how it was for my brothers and sisters coming up. So our view on how things are is different, because when I was coming up as the oldest, my parents were very young. They were, I guess what people would call firecrackers, you know what I mean? I got, and I'm not going to say, negative things, but I'm just going to say, if you're in my age group, you can definitely understand where I'm coming from. The way we were disciplined was a little different, and what was tolerated was very different. What you did out in public was different, and so on. But so as the oldest, a lot of the time, my brothers and sisters would depend on me. Even had some friends from the military world depend on me. And coming up, I used to always be there when I could. And for the most part, I've always made the right moves so that I could be there for them. But I can remember this one time that I want to share with you. Not one time, but it happened a couple times. But it's personal, so I'm very hesitant. And now that I'm on video telling you, it's a little even different. But I remember I had a family member that needed, a little bit of money. And I don't recall them asking me for the money. But as the oldest, I felt obligated to help where I could. The last thing you want to know is that one of your siblings is not doing well. You know what I mean? Or could be doing better. Let's put it that way. I'm not saying they were dire, about to die or something. But one thing is, they could always keep it a buck with me. And I could hear, in the tone that this person needed something. So at the time, keep in mind, I was borrowing money from a friend from the job that I was at to stay in this motel. She was giving me money for the motel every week. And I didn't have much. I was actually walking as far as I could every day to try to make ends meet. I was living out of a motel. I can recall not having money to put gas in the car that I had. So I had a friend tell me, hey, all you gotta do, and I'm just being real with y'all because I had to make it. And it's starting to rain a little bit, but we're gonna keep going. It's supposed to be waterproof. But she had told me, she said, hey, just take your debit card in the gas station, don't pay at the pump. Go in there, because I didn't have any food or anything. She said, go in there, buy all this stuff, get it all together, and then pay for your gas at the same time inside. As long as you have more than $1 on your card, it'll go through as approved, as long as you do debit. I was scared as hell. I went in there, bought some bread, and this is at a gas station, and a little tiny gas station is right out the border of West Virginia. So like, if you know, it's not the West Virginia today where it's like nice stuff. It's like, I was right there in Winchester, Virginia, and it's right at the border, so it wasn't a whole lot going on. A little small gas station. So here I am, I go up there, I do that. It went through. I got a full tank of gas in my car. I got some food. So now I can make it to work, and now I got the food. Well, and I'm scattering around. It's raining. It's cold as hell out here, but I'm going to tell y'all this story anyway. Bear with me. No pun intended. But so when I talked to my family member, I could tell that they were distressed. I could tell that they needed something. And me as the oldest, no matter what. I realized this in the last couple of years. And it may be a fault, is that I always see them as my younger brothers and sisters, even little cousins and stuff. Like, I see them as, my little cousins. Like, I got a little sister, like, no matter for the life of me, no matter what she does, I still see her as my baby sister. You know what I mean? Like, it's just weird. But when I look at her, she's an adult with kids, got a job, full-time job. Like, she's doing her thing, got her own place. But when I look at her, I see my baby sister. You know what I mean? So it's weird. But this time when my sister, I'll just say one of my family members contacted me, and I could feel the distress. And I knew I didn't have any money, but in my account, I just so happened to have, like, in my savings, I think it was like $40 or something. It was something weird, but it wasn't a lot. I want to say it might have been $100. It might have been $100. Because I can't recall me going below that. And, that was like, if things went real bad, like, that was just to get me, a megabus ticket to get home. Megabus is like $16. I don't know what it is now, but it was like $16. You can get on megabus and just get wherever you could. And at the time, it probably would have been Nana's house that I got to. But I remember walking to the Walmart after hearing, the distress in her voice and everything, and me wanting to be there. And I'm walking, I'm hiking, because I didn't have no money to, put gas in my car. The gas I had, I needed for work, that full tank, and, it burnt gas real bad. I couldn't be. So the Walmart, I actually went back to that Winchester. The Walmart is probably about a mile away, if not a little bit more. But I walked to Walmart. Here I am thinking I'm going to send like $20 or $40 or something to my sibling. And I get there and they tell me I get charged $18, like $18 and some change, just to send a little bit of money I was sending. And it might have been $60 and then the $18 and some $18 and some change. But I sent that money over. And I remember, feeling good about it. I sent the money over and I got back to the house. I walked back to the house and I remember just sitting there looking around, wondering what I was doing and how I was going to make it past like this week. Like, I sent that money, but I didn't know how I was going to make it past the next week. And in my mind, and that's why I say I think it was a fault. In my mind, I see them as my little brothers and sisters. You know what I mean? So I didn't think to come out and say to my sibling, hey, I'm really struggling right now. I really need to figure out how I'm going to do this or how I'm going to do that, because when I think about it now, she probably wouldn't even have took that money, because I know her. Like, she probably wouldn't have took that money, and she probably would have went out her way to try to throw me some money so that I could do what I need to do. And it's crazy, you know what I mean? Because you think about it as time goes on, and as an adult, how things worked out and how things, because, and this is my first time sharing things with anyone really other than my wife now. We see things and we hold things in. We don't tell the word about everything, and they don't know to help. They don't know. And, I would get mad like, dang, I done did this, did that. And like, I might hear, and I'm going to keep it a buck with y'all because y'all want transparency. I hear she was at the, the casino or something that weekend. And I'm like, what the? Even if somebody took them, I'm like, yo, I just sent my last. But then I think about it. She ain't even know that was my last. You know what I'm saying? So my point behind this and sharing this is because I had to learn, and I'm hoping you guys can relate to this, is the first step in solving a problem is realizing that there is a problem. And if a person doesn't realize there's a problem, how can they solve it? You know what I mean? In order to help others, you got to help yourself first, right? But sometimes helping yourself is letting people know that you need help. You know what I mean? No matter what type of pedestal we on or what type of place you think you in. I can remember one time my sister telling me this. I was sitting in a closet, felt like the world had turned upside down, man. I mean, I was going through it because here I am taking all these paths that I thought was the right, the struggles. Joined the military, went to college, doing all this stuff. Ended up, being loyal to folks and stuff like that. And I ended up with nothing. And I remember talking to my sister, and she told me one time, she said, I don't know why people tripping, because every time that you've fallen a little bit, you've stood up a lot higher than you ever were after the problem. You know what I mean? Something to that extent. That's the same sister I sent the cash to, and I didn't tell her the problem. You know what I mean? That I was going through something. Remember this, support the journey. I'm Rufus Patterson. I hope you learn from that. I hope you can share that. I hope you can relate to this story. I hope it helps you. Please continue to support the journey. We got some new material coming online. Hopefully this week I'll be putting up another video. We're going to go for 2 a week now. Storytime on Tuesdays at 7:30 p.m. Thanks for watching. And then another video because I want to tell y'all where we're going now with the videos. You know what I'm saying? Thanks to you guys' support, I'm on my way. I feel like I'm learning to put into myself what I put into other people and other things. We put 100% into jobs, staying up late to complete projects. But I always went to bed on time when it was time for me to do something for myself. You dig? I'm Rufus Patterson. You may know me as Bear. Support the journey. You dig?